Welcome to Not Quite a Homestead. Today we're going to talk about perennial plants, flowers in particular. Perennial flowers are really important to your garden for a lot of reasons. Number one, they look really pretty, and everybody likes pretty flowers. Number two, the most important reason is that they help the bees. Bees are having a hard time out there. Bees are good for your garden, and so we want to do all that we can for the bees, and providing food for them is super important. So about a month ago, we started a couple of perennial packs. Of course, I don't have them with me today because I tossed out the seed packs. We're learning, and now next time we'll know, keep the seed packs so we can share that with you. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're gonna break up these seed packs, these six-celled seed packs, and we're going to transplant them into larger cups. We use solo cups. You can use any kind of container. We're all about recycling and reusing around here. So we use the bottoms of pop bottles, we use the bottoms of milk cartons, we use yogurt and cottage cheese and containers all over. So to get your seeds started, real simple, you take your cups, you use a drill, 5/8 bit, and you make a few holes in the bottom for drainage. I use 5 holes. You pick a number that satisfies you. We're going to fill up the cup about 3/4 of the way and make a little hole in the center. And then we're going to be real gentle and loosen up these plugs. Again, we're using these as plugs, so we didn't plant the individual flowers. We're just going to plant these in the yard or into large containers. So you can see this is about a month's worth of growth, and we've decided to let these, or to up-pot these, just simply because there's so many flowers in each one, and we want to give them room to grow. So you just simply put that in there in the hole. You just drop the plug in there, pat it down, add a little bit more soil. Don't dump dirt all over your plant. And there you go. You put it in your tray and you set it aside. After we're done transplanting them, we'll just take and label them with a Sharpie. These are perennial mix. Again, they were just a mix of perennial flowers. I do put the date of transplant, and then I have the original date on a stick, and I'll put that in one of them. I do keep a crazy computer spreadsheet of all of my plant dates and transplant dates and start dates. But that's another video for another time. So we're just using regular potting soil. You can get your potting soil from anywhere. I got this bag, $6 from Walmart. Most of your big box stores will have anything. I choose to not add fertilizer into my potting soil. I like to do my fertilizing on my own, but you can do that, or you can do the moisture control if you know you're not the best with watering. The issue you tend to have with with soils like this are fungus gnats. And the issue with fungus gnats is they lay their eggs in the soil, and then they are born and they wreak havoc on your plants. So I tend to mix my soils, particularly my starting mixes, with boiling water just to pre-moisten them. You can do the same thing with your potting mix. Now that we've transplanted the old plugs, we're going to start some new ones. You can't have enough perennial flowers. First, we're going to take our seed cell. I'm going to provide a link for all the stuff that we're using today down in the description so that you can connect to whatever we've been using. So we're going to fill these up with a seed starting mix. And again, I just use a sterile seed starting mix, and I do mix it with boiling water to pre-moisten it. The boiling water is to kill those fungus gnat eggs. So you're just going to fill it up. And it's really important to start with a solid foundation, so you want to pack it down in each cell and fill it up again. That way you're not concerned that your seeds are going to fall down into the mix. You want a super light and airy mix. This is just peat moss and vermiculite. So now we're going to be using a wildflower garden scatter mix. This is from Seeds Now. This is going to be a majority of coneflowers. And all you have to do with wildflowers when you're going to do the wildflower plugs is just take and sprinkle them over the top, and you can be generous with it. Again, you can plant individual cells with individual seeds. The way that we're doing it is an overseeding method because we're essentially just going to plant them out in our yard. We're starting from scratch, so we need a lot of foliage. Let me get a couple more cells here and just sprinkle it. And these, fortunately, are super light, so you can see where they're going. There are a couple of darker seeds in here, but for the most part, you can see where all your seeds are going. These are coneflower seeds, so they're a little bit oblong, and they're large enough that it's easier to handle. When you've got the smaller seeds, the best way to plant those is to mix them with a little bit of corn flour, and that way you can kind of see where they're going, or cornmeal, not corn flour. So once we've done that, we're just going to take and kind of scratch them into the surface. They don't want to be too deep, but you don't want them exposed to the light either. And just scratch them all in. We're going to do all 6 cells the same way. I'm going to pat them down. And then I'm just going to add a little more soil to the top. And then I just label them, and I label mine with popsicle sticks, and I label them with the date that I planted. And then we'll just put that in our tray and make sure we water from the bottom. Well, there you have it. Transplanting and seed starting perennial flowers. I hope you guys learned something today. And remember, we're beginners, so if you have any advice for us, please make sure to say something down in the comment box below. We appreciate you joining us on our journey, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe.